You almost have to think when you walk in that door, you're going to put the hat aside and say, this is now my boss, or this is now my business partner, or this is now my superior. And those other relationships have to go away. In a family-run agency or a spouse-run agency, oftentimes there can be a little bit lack of professionalism that can sneak into the agency. We always encourage our family-run agencies to be reminded that at the end of the day, you're at work to work and you're at home to be a family. So too often what we find is that the work-life balance, those boundaries get very blurred when you're dealing with family-run agencies. A good tip we always like to say is if you're the son or daughter in an agency, don't say mom or dad, but use the first name. Just like any other team member, using mom or dad triggers just a little different emotional response. And the reality is at work, they're your superior, they're your boss, and so it's really important. In particular, we want to talk a little bit about how to hold those professional standards. Yes, it can be very easy to let some of those things creep in. For example, if you and your spouse have a disagreement about something personally, or maybe you're just going through a lot, it's very easy to be that the spouse is the first person that you sort of take it out on. They love you and it's a safe place. So I know for me, sometimes when I'm a little overwhelmed, my husband, Andrew, gets the brunt of it. It has nothing to do with him. It just is a little trigger, or he does something that normally wouldn't be a big deal. And now I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm about to blow. You have to understand that once you get in that office, it's all about work. And same thing too, if you have a disagreement about something at work, you don't want to take it home to the dining room table. That's not healthy either. So in order to be a true professional, one of the things that you're going to need to focus on is healthy work-life boundaries, which is why you'll see that we have a family contract. I firmly believe that every agency that is working with spouses or family should have a family contract. What passes through those walls, what you speak about at Thanksgiving, what you let go, and what you go ahead and develop. But at the end of the day, having a professionally run, family-owned business can be so amazing. There's so many highs. The highs are high, the lows are low, but you have the same culture, generally the same values, the same commitment, the same work ethic, and that can really torpedo your agency to success. As the agency grows and there's more team members, these professional boundaries actually become far more important. You may not think about it, but when they start to see favoritism, or so-and-so gets a little bit more time off, or the two of you must be in a fight because the office is icy today, those are things you never ever want to creep in. If you two worked somewhere separate from each other as spouses, there would be celebrations of milestones, of promotions, of hitting targets, of hitting a sales goal. And the same thing should happen in a family-run agency. So it is no different. You almost have to think when you walk in that door, you're going to put the hat aside and say, this is now my boss, or this is now my business partner, or this is now my superior. And those other relationships have to go away. This does take some discipline and some patience, of course. But if you take a look at our most recent blog on how to run an agency with your spouse, we give you a bunch of great tips, whether you've been doing it forever or you're just starting out. Having a plan means that you have a plan for success. And if for some reason you can't, it's okay. We have our 2-year program and agency assessment, as well as consulting hours to help you along. When you work with your spouse, sometimes, there could be times where you would go to marriage counseling in your personal relationship. Having a business coach is no different. So if we work with your spouse, we salute you. So many family-run agencies support the whole independent insurance agency channel. What's next is making sure that it's a healthy balance, both personally and professionally.